My high school English teacher nearly crushed my dreams of public speaking forever. Mr. Palma was both our drama teacher and our English teacher. In English class, he would give out fake money printed on green paper whenever we used vocabulary words. His fake bills were called Rory bucks and had a picture of his golden retriever, Rory, on the front of them. He also had 2 golden retrievers that had passed away and were enshrined in photos above his desk. Both of them were named Rory. And yet this is the man who had the power to nearly topple my dreams and hopes around public speaking. I was 12 years old when I discovered I loved public speaking, and I couldn't exactly pinpoint why or what I enjoyed about it or what I got out of it, but those reasons are crystal clear now. And they are the exact same reasons that you have seen promotions, title changes, salary increases, bonuses, a larger client base, more responsibility, and career growth. Of course, disaster then struck in high school when Mr. Palma told me this: people don't do public speaking for a living. That's not a line of work. You can't do that as a career. He basically told me that my dreams and hopes didn't matter, that public speaking skills didn't matter. My first week of college, I saw a public speaking course available. I registered for it. I thought to myself, there has to be a reason why in college they offer a public speaking course, and I wanted to prove Mr. Palma and his Rory bucks dead wrong. 4 years later, I essentially majored in public speaking. My university called it communication arts. And even then, I had naysayers asking, what will you do with a public speaking degree? And I thought, what won't I do? What can't I do with this? However, I did graduate into a recession. My fellow classmates were ecstatic to be landing job interviews to become baristas at Starbucks. That was the environment. I knew I had to bring my A-game speaking and communication skills to land a job interview, let alone a job in a recession. I decided to put my skills to the test in the 2 worst environments possible: a job fair, where people hiring meet everyone and remember no one, and also on a Zoom call to work in a foreign country. I ended up with 2 job offers. One from the job fair and one from the Zoom call to work in a foreign country. I started to see just how far my public speaking skills could take me. Years later, while working in corporate America in the finance industry, I applied for a higher level position, a promotion, to a role that essentially required you give presentations 50 to 75% of the time during your workday. That essentially was the role, to give presentations to external companies and external stakeholders like C-suites and executives. In preparation for my interviews, I practiced my storytelling skills, curious questions, and the strategy and framework I'd put together that was getting me success in interviews. I landed the job, and that is when it all clicked. My public speaking and communication skills were critical in showing what I was capable of and the work that I can do. They built my trust, my likability, and my expertise with every audience that heard me speak. My public speaking skills were the reason that I was called back for interviews. My public speaking skills were the reason that I landed new jobs. My public speaking skills were the reason I was promoted. My public speaking skills were the reason I was paid more. My public speaking skills were the reason I got bonuses. My public speaking skills were the reason that clients said yes to working with me and the corporations that I represented. Public speaking is the #1 way to share what you do and how you do it. It is the #1 way to connect with your audience. It is the #1 way to influence others. You are in the business of influencing others whether or not you know it. Building brand awareness, getting your team on board with a new or different concept, signing a new business, convincing executive leadership, marketing your products or services, increasing your client base, growing your revenue, seeking a promotion, or gaining visibility at your company so more people know who you are and the work that you do. All of that requires influence and persuasion. All of that requires articulating your talents out loud in a compelling way. All of that requires public speaking skills. I know because I've grown them, used them, and seen these exact results, and so have my clients. Public speaking is the ultimate way to persuade and influence your audience to get these results and more. And I want to show you how. The essential tool that I used to get people to say yes to hiring me, promoting me, working with me, and paying me more was telling effective personal stories. And I am going to teach you how to do exactly that. I am offering a free storytelling workshop. I have never offered this before and I am so stinking excited. My free storytelling workshop dates are coming out in my next email. In that next email, I am also sharing ways to combat your fears, anxiety, and self-doubt when it comes to public speaking, because that's a real part of public speaking and presenting that all of us have to be able to move through or cope with in order to see success and results on the other side. To get your brain thinking about effective stories, think of a time when someone told you you couldn't do something, or you weren't good enough to achieve a certain result, or maybe you weren't good enough to execute on a skill like public speaking. When have you put too much stock in someone else's opinion about your talents when it comes to speaking? Let me know in the comments below. I will see you next at my storytelling workshop, and I cannot wait. This is one you do not want to miss.